Yes, Troy. Come on, Troy. Good, dude.
Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife, and the incident you guys just got done watching took place on October 11th at the Ross Norton Rec Center located in Clearwater, Florida. Since that video hit the internet, it has received hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views, and created a lot of very interesting and sometimes extremely heated conversations in the comment sections. Now, like most viral videos, that was only a small portion of what happened, so I decided to reach out to both of the competitors who were involved in this altercation and find out their side of the story and learn a little bit more. Here's what they had to say.
My name is Thomas Steven. I'm a purple belt under Luis Palhares and Pedro Palhares Jiu-Jitsu. Been training for like 5 years. Yeah, pretty much it, man.
How long you been competing?
Ever since I was a white belt, man. First tournament was Pan Am's, I think 2021. Like COVID just ended, I think. And that was the first tournament I did, man. That was fun. It was a good day. Got, I think, second place.
Had you ever had any kind of like issues inside tournament competition before, like anyone getting aggressive or rowdy before this?
Yeah, like I've had like a few things, but nothing like really like cemented into, a fight. Maybe like I brought a little bit of intensity to a match and someone felt the kind of way about it, but maybe or like energies were, misread, but I'm not there to like try to cause real harm to nobody.
When we see the video, the match had already been going on, and I'm not sure exactly how long it had been going on, but maybe walk us through beginning to end of what happened.
First match, I think ended it with a nice choi bar, real clean, in and out. Second match, fighting that giant man, and it was like I could tell it was not gonna be an easy one. He's immediately like pushing me out of bounds, trying to be real aggressive with that. Hadn't really had somebody try to just constantly push me out of bounds. I wanted to like engage just like a little bit, do some grappling, but pushing is grappling, I guess. Eventually I get to the ground and pull. I'm starting to like play into the legs. I'm setting up some stuff. He can't really pass. We're like throwing up some like leg lock positionings. He's pretty heavy, so it's hard to hold him there. And throwing up triangles, things like that. This is a big guy too, so I'm getting pretty tired just like leg pressing this guy, right? He does pass. He gets to the mount from there, but then I get out, and then we reverse the position, and then I'm in his closed guard. I'm like standing up again because he just kind of stands up. I kind of disengaged from the closed guard. I didn't want to be in the guard really. I want to try to get some points some way or another. But then as we're going away from that moment right there, that's when he just starts doing that like leg sweep kick. I don't really care. I'll do the same because it's just like, sometimes it ends up being like a kick sometimes. Then he pushes me out of bounds. Or yeah, he's like pushing me backwards, and that's where I give him that hard collar tie. I thought it was a collar tie. I guess it was a little too hard for him, but it'd been an aggressive match. Like he'd been putting some aggression back towards me, so I didn't feel like it was out of the norm. We're used to doing Nogi Jiu-Jitsu. You get hit sometimes, and it's not nothing like mean to do it. We're just there trying to like get control of the situation. We're not throwing hands. So I give him what he'd been giving me, and then we pushed me out of bounds. That's whatever. I'm not mad about the push. I don't really care. He's pushing me again. And then as I'm walking in, I'm not even looking at him because I thought we're getting reset by the ref, who's barely even in the room. And then he just cheap shot slaps me right in the face. And I was like, all right, man, let's go. And I just know when you get hit, you got to hit back. So I try to throw a punch in there. I don't know if I hit him with it. I heard a loud little smack, but I'm trying to fight now because you're throwing hands. That's just, I think, an appropriate response. Man, I'm not going to back down. I might have been losing the match, but I'm not going to lose the fight, bro. So And if I lose, I don't care. I'm there to fight, bro. So that's just what I think happened personally. We're all heated, and then they separated us. So whatever, man. I'm not gonna back down to that.
Was the ref interactive at all during this match? Any warnings? Any like, hey, calm it down? Any of that?
Not at all. She was non-existent. Like even like I get it, like the pushing out of bounds, like man, like control it, like say something like, hey, keep this in the middle, like actively trying to work, do something here, and talk to the guys, and also be in the middle of the thing when you're breaking it up, and I mean that like resetting, like the ref's always there. Ref should always be there, controlling. It was not like and honestly, man, she wasn't going to control that guy or me and what was going on there because like what it was happening was just I feel like it was a little bit of a war and it was just it was just non-existent reffing from what I could see, which is really annoying because we're competing, man. That's the whole thing. It's a sport. You need
It's,
a ref.
in my opinion, and I think Tom DeBlas had a similar opinion. The referee really dropped the ball here, and it could have been something that could have been de-escalated well before it even gotten to that. What do you think?
I 100% agree with that. Just them being like an outside observer that can control things is like a lot of power, and honestly, like gives direction to the guys having the match. Because what we're doing, trying to do jujitsu here. Like if you know that somebody's there and they have the power to end this match because you guys are being dicks, just I don't know, like show that you have that, right? Like calm it down a bit, and do the sport that we're doing here, man. I signed up for that tournament, and that's what we're doing. I didn't go there to get into a slap fist fight. Like, what the heck? You go to the bar down the street for that. Like, that's not and shit, you probably have a better ref there. It felt kind of like she was just watching more than controlling. That was just kind of the weird thing. It was, and I get that. You kind of just get deer in the headlights in that scenario, but I think she bit off more than she could chew being the ref for the absolute advanced division, if I'm being honest with you. And I've had refs that are small, it doesn't matter. They can command the space for sure, man.
If you can, in hindsight, go back and replay this, would you do anything differently?
Man, probably not. Like I guarantee, like I mean, the mistakes made in the match, that's for me to figure out. But like to avoid that from happening, I don't think that was my responsibility to avoid that. You know what I'm saying? I did jujitsu in that move. I did a collar tie, and he started to not do jujitsu, and that's where I started to not do jujitsu. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate it when people say like, oh, they always start to fight whenever that happens. I'm like, man, like if you throw hands, I'm throwing hands too. Like just because we're grappling doesn't mean it's just to that. Like I don't know, man. It's just weird. I would say obviously don't get into fights with people at tournaments. Don't do that. Don't ruin the fun. You paid money to get there. Don't waste that $100, and try to keep it in the freaking ring, man. I try to keep it in the mats. Don't try to fight. Don't do that. It's stupid. But also, like you said, bro, defend yourself, Don't like let nobody like bully you around, bro. They'll keep doing it.
Were your teams cool, or did it escalate?
Yeah, my friend JD, Josh Douglas, shout out, he was there, just keeping the time and watching and just being a homie, and he stood up ready to go, he was waiting. He saw that one of those guys, and you can go back and watch it, that one of those guys tried to bow up and come at him a bit, but I think that guy's coach came in and was like obviously trying to like not start anything and just separate it, which I thought was cool. And I don't understand why it took him to do that, but it just that was fine. But my teammate was there. He was there ready to, throw it off if he needed to, but he was cool and he doesn't act unless it's needed. And that's why I like him. He's a cool-headed guy. So, and homies, all my homies are like that, man. Like if it's not needed, then it's not gonna happen. So I hate that. I hate when people just jump in and start doing stuff like that. It gets really dumb.
If there's a possibility that you guys might have another match again, do you start from square or do you start with a little more aggression?
I do the same as I would do again. And I'm cool with the guy, I guess, like he apologized, whatever, and I was like, man, I'll always scrap again. Like that's always gonna happen.
It's good that he
Yeah,
apologized.
he got really heated. Apparently punched a guy on the way out. Wasn't me, but I don't know. Some guy slapped his phone out of his hand, and then that guy punched him, and then they were like, "You gotta go." But that was crazy. That another happened after that. That was what was crazy. It was heated, man. So even after we all were good to go and match was over, that's what was funny about that. But to me, man, I don't have any hate in my heart, bro. But like I'll bring the same energy every time I ever have a match. So that's just me, you know.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Is there anything that you might want to say or add? Like, floor is yours to say whatever you'd like.
I think we cut it all. Thank you, Rob, for giving me a voice, brother. I appreciate you.
So I'm Troy Royal. I'm a jiu-jitsu athlete. I've been training for close to 4 years of jiu-jitsu now. I wrestled for almost 7 years. I'm a brown belt under Sloan Climber at Legion American Jiu-Jitsu.
How long have you been competing?
So I started competing. I completed my first year of jiu-jitsu, and then I did a jiu-jitsu world league, and then I actually deployed with the Navy for 8 or 9 months. And then I decided while I was away, I was like, dude, as soon as I get back, I'm going to start hammering competitions. And so in the last 2.5 years, I think I've done 27 competitions.
That's a lot of competitions.
Yeah.
Before this, have you ever had any issues in competition with things getting a little out of control or things getting heated?
Yeah, dude, if you compete, like I said, I've done 27 competitions in 2.5-ish years. Once or twice a year, shit's getting pretty heated and stuff. If you're taking the sport serious and you have that competitive drive and you want to win, it's gonna get out of hand sometimes. And it's never got out of hand to that point. Normally, it's just maybe I had one interaction. It was just words. And then the other clip I posted that went viral at an ADCC Open. But me and the other competitor and the coach, PJ Barchar, like, we're all cool now.
Could you do me a favor and just kind of walk me through start to finish? Was there any animosity beforehand or was it
No,
cool?
no, not at all. So we get to the tournament and immediately the first impression is like, okay, like it's not these guys, like some of the refs look like children, like maybe like 14, 15. And then it's on like kids play mats. And I was like, at that point I was like, okay, if this wasn't a tournament where I was gonna potentially get paid for winning, I would have left right there. Uh, but I was like, you know what, $1,500 would be nice right now. So we stayed, and then as I'm watching this ref do her thing, and there's no type of standard. Guys are rolling out of bounds with fully locked up rear naked chokes and getting reset neutral. Like the craziest shit I've ever seen. And then like just no type of standard. So I knew I was like, okay, I can't let the refs get involved. I do my first match, win by submission, go into my second match, which is the clip that's gone viral. And immediately, we're collar tying hard. We're going for it. And I had shoved him out of bounds because we'd already been collar tying hard. And then he pulled guard and he tried to wrestle up, and I shoved him out of bounds. And that is where the ref should have like drew the line, like, hey, I should have got a penalty point for that. Or when we came back and like, hey, both competitors like chill out, it's escalating. But we didn't get one then. And then I end up passing his guard and like getting the mountain stuff. And when I was trying to take his back, he escapes and we go back standing. And that's kind of where I started clip farming and putting clips out on Instagram. And yeah, it was just like right when we got up, it was just like both of us going hard on collar ties. He was just doing like all types of nasty shit to each other. And then the ref at no point says anything. It gets in between us, never stops the timer whenever we go out of bounds. At one point, we went out of bounds, reset on our own, and just started back grappling. She never even like made it back to the center. Like she was doing nothing. And then, which is so crazy. Like, obviously, it's on me and the other competitor for letting it go this far. But like you said, we're both competitors. You give us an inch, we're taking a mile, It could have been stopped with a penalty point. But so the part that went viral, you see him do this hard collar tie. And in the match, we're already like, it's already been really heated. There's 6 seconds left. I'm up 6-0. And the way it came, I thought he threw like a sloppy hook. It just came from the hip and came around. And when he like whiffed with it, he almost fell over from the momentum. And I was like, dude, fuck this guy. So that's when I shoved him out of bounds. And when he came back in and he put his hand out to shove me, that's when I open hand slapped him. I didn't like throw a jab or anything. And then that's when things got heated and the ref ran away. And dude, also after I slap him and then he swings back at me, I'm standing there going, dude, is no one going to fucking stop this? Are we just going to fist fight now? Like it took like 6 seconds for anyone to respond.
What was the aftermath of the incident?
As soon as everyone came in, broke it up, they disqualify me. I walk off the mat, and I grab my stuff and I start leaving. While we're walking out, some random guy who has no affiliation to anything, from my understanding, he just walked in off the street to watch this jiu-jitsu tournament, comes up to me while we're walking out and is like, "Fuck you, you fucking play," like just spazzing on me. And I was like, "Hey, chill out. Like, it's over." And I tried to de-escalate it, and he smacked my phone out of my hand. And then I had smacked him, and he was not a big guy. He had no business. He doesn't train. He went flying, and then everyone starts trying to fight. I got my grandfather, of all people, like right next to me, squared up in a fighting stance. And I'm like, I see that, and I'm like, oh, this has gone so far from like what I thought the day was going to go. And then actually, when we're driving home, we're like riding in silence, me, my grandfather, and my grandmother. And he goes, "Well, fuck, I thought you were going to pay for dinner." So it was honestly fine, though. And but the amount of like attention this has gotten is the thing that I'm shocked most about. Later, I reached out to the competitor and apologized. Sorry things got so heated. Sorry it came to blows. He was very cool about it back to me, and we just talked about it. And then before I posted the clip, I made sure to text him and get his permission because I didn't want to post something that was going to potentially mess with him professionally or something.
If you were to go through this again, is there anything that you would have changed in the moment?
If I could have not slapped him, I think I would have won the whole tournament. That, like I said, there's 6 seconds left. It was 6-0. Like, and then, which all respect to the other competitor, for real, all respect. Like, he was a very good competitor, very good guard. But he ended up going to the finals and losing 4-0 to a black belt from Checkmat, who was, I probably had a 60, 70 pound weight advantage over that guy. And I was like, damn, so I would have just kept my composure, honestly. I would have still kept the intensity up high. And, also if I could have changed the ref to someone who was a little more competent.
If you could give anybody some advice, right, based off of this, what would the advice be?
I think, man, bring the intensity every match, honestly. And, yeah. And I think sportsmanship is for before and after the match. Once you're on the mat, like, yeah, you're not doing anything intentionally disrespectful. But, people seem to think that, like, I'm owing this guy something, and that's not the case. I think that guy is standing in between me and victory, like me and winning this tournament. I am his friend before and after. Honestly, not even really before, but it just sounds good to say. Just after, I'm his friend, And, yeah, just bring the intensity every single tournament. And, if you do fuck up, which I have done many times from high school wrestling all the way through now, where I have like lost my temper or had a controversial loss or something like that, always go back and apologize and make peace. You don't want like random beefs running around in the community.
I always leave this ending open for you to say absolutely whatever you want. There's something you want to shout out, something you want to plug, or anything you just want to say. It's all you.
Man, shout out to Gracie Tampa headquarters since I've moved back to Tampa. They've been awesome to me. They were in the video as well, breaking up the fight. And they've also dealt with a lot of hate now with this video surfacing. Like, how the fuck could you even like support this? And they're like, dude, it's a competition. But, it is what it is. And also shout out Sloan Climber for just keeping me in this sport and keeping me super motivated to continue competing and staying on the path and always being like a true coach, So I think that concludes it.
This brings us to the question of the day, brought to you by Firecracker Farms, which is a hot salt that is various in flavors and degrees. I think it's delicious. I've been using it since January of this year, and I think it's awesome. Feel free to use promo code McDojo to get 10% off your purchase at Firecracker Farms. What do you think could have been done better to prevent this incident from escalating? Do you think it's the fighter's fault? Do you think it's the referee's fault? The organization itself? Maybe a culmination of all of the above? I'd love to hear your thoughts about how this could have been handled better in the comment sections below. As always, thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, and of course, memberships. People who have memberships here, they allow me to continue to call out fakes, frauds, phonies, conmen, pedophiles, sex offenders, and cults. Most of the time when I call out a sex offender, it is completely demonetized because of the subject matter. So everyone who's actually a paying member allows me to continue to do that. And I have some amazing news coming up about our documentary. I can't wait to let you guys know about that later on this week. Until then, keep the martial arts legit.
My baby got robbed the other day by degenerates. So she wanted to learn some new form of this self-defense. So she did her research and perused it online and found this tool said he could move shit with his mind. He call himself Seafood Paul Zimmerman. He got a dojo with a strip on near Cinnabon. Now she spends all